Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Big Brother 22 All-Stars reaction. This is the third eviction of the season. It's not a happy one. I don't think I could say that really any of the evictions so far have been altogether happy ones, but still.
They did a good job tonight, kind of throwing us all a little bit off the scent, even though we've all been watching the live feeds. When Danny threw her vote at first, I was really shocked, like, what is happening?
There were some weird shenanigans. There were some moments that I thought this show could have been even more exciting than it was. Losing Janelle sends a pain all the way down into my core, but we will get through all of it. And before we do, though, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more, and support us further by checking those links to the store, our Patreon. Our first live chat is happening over there on Sunday. And of course, by the way, we know HOH competition still ongoing. Hopefully it won't be too late so that we can come back and discuss that in a little bit.
So let's talk a little bit about Julie's kind of strange night that she had, because she had two things that really stuck out for me. One was building up the whole David segment and talking about all stars, and now let's talk about rookie David. That was a little bit strange. And then we had Janelle getting evicted and coming out and being like, Janelle, do you hear that sound? And we're all listening. None of us hear anything. It's just pure silence, being like, those are your fans screaming for you. I was like, okay, that didn't land right. That silence is not what your fans sound like, Janelle. We were all really yelling for you.
That whole, what does that sound like, and it's silent, it felt like something like a serial killer in Dexter would say that or something.
It landed really weird.
Yeah, it was not Julie's finest night. It was I think it was a strange night kind of all across the board, because I don't know if Julie was just like in the dark on all the live feed updates and everything that was going on out there, because Danny talked about maybe doing a hinky vote leading up to all of this, but the way that Julie reacted to it almost felt like she thought that a Big Brother miracle was coming down from the heavens and that her world was suddenly going to be full of like sunshine and rainbows.
This move that Danny put together to throw out these two votes, because it seems like she had spoken possibly to Enzo to do this together sort of thing. Bailey and Devon, they're going to get pinned for that. Absolutely 100%. As soon as I saw that happening, I was like, okay, now everyone else is voting Janelle out. Those two are going to get stuck with that. Then Janelle came outside, sat down. Oh, who do you think those votes were from? Bailey and Devon. Yeah, they're going to get stuck with those votes.
I do feel bad for them, because it sucks to be in that position. It's a good way for Danny to cause a little bit of chaos within the house. I've always been pro hinky vote for that reason. I have a hard time reconciling that feeling right now, knowing that it could hurt Bailey and Devon.
Yeah, I'm really not happy that it's going to hurt the two of them, but I can't say it's a bad play because it's a good play.
Here's the one thing I would say is that it's just, if you're Bailey and Devon now, are you going to think, okay, for sure people are going to think that this is us? Is it going to incentivize you to win HOH more? I mean, mind you, you should have probably already wanted to win HOH in the first place, but it might be, maybe it's an extra kick to get those balls and those holes in this real test of Big Brother aptitude, which is basically a glorified version of that. What is that game where you throw the balls into the various things at the end that you play at Chucky?
Skee-Ball! I love that game. It's so fun.
Add that to the list of competitions I would suck at. Can't they just do shoot a basketball, or do impressions of past people? I might be able to survive that.
Skee-Ball is fine. No, it does sort of look like a crazy version of Skee-Ball, but there's a little bit of, you can kind of get the rhythm and sort of figure it out, but I mean, it feels again like there's probably a little bit of luck that comes with it too.
This is the thing with this eviction. I'm surprised that, number one, Janelle didn't really throw any crazy things in to her speech. I was Janelle's, she knows it's a live show. We're taping it this time around. You know, she probably knows her family's watching. She probably didn't want to go too crazy with some of this, but I kind of wish that she had sort of shaken things up a little bit more before she headed out the door, and maybe just throw some crazy stuff out there, even if it's not true. Though, I mean, I guess that could have made Kaser in more jeopardy, but still.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if maybe that was why she just didn't really want to do anything like that and put a bigger target on him while she's going out the door. That maybe she just felt like this was the best way to go out and give Kaser a chance.
I guess another part of it may have just been, and because she's talked about this on the feed so much, her own feeling like there was a good chance that there could have been a battle back or some sort of twist, because what she was allegedly told about her being there until September, maybe she didn't want to jeopardize her own spot in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know 100% if she was told this as a possibility or if she made this up, because it seemed like she was the only house guest that at least said something out loud to everybody, like to us and everybody watching, that this was a thing and that she could have been held until mid-September. And now we know that that is not true. Yeah. So I don't know if she really was told that and they've changed their minds, or she was never told that and it was gameplay.
If it was gameplay, tip of the cap, you might as well try to use that at whatever you can as leverage. Yeah. I know using production as strategy probably is not the most allowable thing in the game sometimes, but maybe it did. But I don't, regardless of if she said it or not, people would have been afraid of it. I think they clearly were very, very worried about it the whole time she was in there, and that may be why Kaser ends up being targeted next.
Yeah, because people have said that they are worried that Janelle's going to come back into this game, and then Kaser's still going to be there, and then that it's a problem.
Let's talk about these goodbye messages here, because I have instituted the Mike Ehrmantraut rule of no half measures, and this is usually for players, but I'm going to hit production here with this because they are supposed to be the danger. They are supposed to be the one who knocks. Like, they had a pile of gold, or to keep this Breaking Bad metaphor going, they had some crystal blue persuasion here in the form of Nicole giving a goodbye message that was apparently just like one of the not nicest things possible, where she just says, well, you're uninvited to the wedding, and Nicole built this up like this was this really mean goodbye message that she supposedly re-recorded. They played part of it, but I think they edited out all of the super mean parts of it. It's like, why? Just make her a villain if you're gonna play it.
Yeah, and she said that she, recorded it a couple of times, so it kind of came across more sad than anything else with the edit that we got, where she was just kind of like, well, I thought we were friends, and I guess we're not, so, just don't bother coming if we're not really friends. I was like, yeah, the way she was explaining it on the live feature was like, oh my goodness, I said this thing and it was so mean. Yeah. And then it came out and I was like, okay, this feels like it was just really sad. Like, you were really hurt that the friendship just fell to pieces. Like, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. And it did feel kind of like a half measure in general, which is also kind of what happened with that have-not speech. It feels like she's ready to get to that line to be mean, and then she just is like, I'll kind of say something a little shady, but not all the way.
Just be a villain, Nicole. I would actually probably like Nicole more if she was a villain, just because I would kind of know specifically where she stood, and it didn't feel like she was constantly trying to be one side for certain people and one side for the other. It's like, Dr. Will, great villain. He owns being the villain, and in that way, he's kind of a hero because people really like him for his villainous ways.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if Nicole, this is just my theory, that Nicole has a foot in sort of each camp, because she catches a lot of crap online, and it is what it is for her, where she catches so much crap that then she doesn't want more coming in on her. So even though I think it feels like this season she does want to roll into this sort of more villainous role, but she knows that when she gets out of the house, she's going to catch so much more crap. The thing is she's going to catch it anyway, so she might as well just go full villain. No half measures.
that is. I wish I could do a good Mike impression, but that's like the one Breaking Bad character. I can't do a lot of them. But anyway, I also feel like Danny talked a lot about having a good goodbye message that was like a little bit biting and something that Janelle would sort of even appreciate, and
it got cut.
It got cut. Instead, you gave us Cody's, which was not exciting at all. Even if, yeah, we kind of get it, Cody. This is why she's a target, so on, so forth. Her interview with Julie, it does make me very worried for Kaser, just because. Why are you telling us things, Janelle, that are going to make us sad? We're already sad immediately that you're out of the game. Now we have to think about Kaser trusting Memphis.
It was interesting, actually, to hear how much Janelle really trusted Memphis, because there were a couple moments in the house where she could tell that Memphis wasn't being 100% with her, where she was kind of like, do I have, will you save me with the safety? And he was just kind of like, yeah, kind of not looking at her. She picked it up. So she knew that Memphis wasn't there 100%. So I was a bit surprised when she was out having her interview where she was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. And I was like, really? You can't believe it? You called it out yourself. You know it. And now, yes, poor Kaser is in there, having to deal with that because they think they can trust Memphis.
Tinfoil hat time.
All right.
This is actually almost like reverse tinfoil hat, because I kind of feel like Big Brother production, they probably wanted to push the big red magical save Janelle button, but I think they were so worried that people would be putting on the tinfoil hats for it that I think they were like, okay, we can't do it now, because if we do it now, everyone is just going to say that the game is rigged and all of this other stuff. But interestingly, they didn't actually announce a twist on tonight's new episode, and I think the fact that they're saving this HOH for Sunday's episode signifies there probably isn't going to be a twist happening in the immediate future, at least for this week. So what does this mean?
It could mean that something's coming in to make sure that Kaser's all right.
I think
Maybe.
that could very well
Maybe.
be it, though. I think there could be some sort of sign of something like that, or some sort of twist that could be coming later in the week.
It just depends on who wins, because if Kaser actually ends up winning this, then they may not push the big red button to be able to help him out more, because he doesn't need any more help.
There was also one very sad thing in this episode that I think for you especially we need to bring up here.
Oh dear.
There was no additional Christmas baby star montage thrown in. She didn't even get the full collection of them on this past episode.
Put them on the store. Yes, please. I want one of those babies so bad. I have watched that clip an unhealthy amount of times today.
Listen, we are already going through so much out here. You've already gotten rid of Janelle. She doesn't get a battle back. You ignore Karamo, who is like begging you to save Janelle on Twitter, and you don't even give us the baby stars.
No, but I mean, I am happy with what we did get. I was glad that they actually showed as much as they could with that whole David mess. And I mean, that went on for a really long time. So they jammed in quite a bit of that whole mess, and which I'm glad that they did. And I'm glad that they actually showed people like Tyler and Cody calling him a rookie, because he is someone who is playing with people who have played 2 and 3 times. He does not have the same experience. And I was kind of wondering if the show was gonna, oh, nothing to see over here, because then it calls out that they've called this All-Stars with a rookie on it.
Yeah, they went full David segment. I think they captured the essence of it. They captured multiple people telling David off, David being sort of clueless. They got all that in there, and with this HOH going on now, I'm going to be a little bit of Nostradamus here. I want to say that Kaser's the winner, but this, based on the 2 seconds I saw, I think Ian is going to be the next HOH. I think he's got like the physics thing, and he's going to know what direction to move the ball into, and he's going to Ian's really good at a lot of this weird stuff.
I still feel like this is going to be a week that we are going to see the same side still in power. And I think it's going to be someone like a Danny or a Nicole. I do think that this is going to be the week that that's going to happen.
My heart wants it to be Kaser, but we've all seen.
My heart also either Kaser, but actually who I'd really like to see is Bailey. I really want to see a Bailey HOH this week. That would make me the absolute happiest.
Bailey would be fun. I think there'd be a lot of entertainment that would come out of that. With Kaser, you never really know what Kaser's gonna do.
I just think that if with this hinky vote that happened and sort of some of the nonsense that David stirred up with everything with Davon and Bailey, I am really worried about them. I think that this could be a week where Kaser actually does get to go on by if he doesn't win HOH, and that this is just going to heat up for the girls, and a lot of this is going to continue to, have the fire stoked by Danny. I think we're in some trouble here for them.
Well, we will
Come
be
on,
back
Bailey.
soon. We're sending out the good vibes. Ironically, we can't really see anything else while we're recording this, so the HOH may be over already, and we're just speaking into a void. But what did you guys think about the episode tonight? You sad to see Janelle go? Where do you think this season is going? Give us your predictions for future twists as well in the comments. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, support us, check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.